Welcome to Comicazi Videodrome. That's Miracle Max.
That's Comicazi Mike, and we're here to talk to you about the comics you could be reading. New, old, graphic novels.
By Crom, let's get started. So sorry.
Yeah, it's early. We need our coffee.
It is.
But, you know what is a nice hot cup of coffee in my, over the last couple months for me?
That was an odd segue, but please.
I'm trying.
Would it be something to do with, the Spider-Verse?
Yes, it does. I love that book. It's super fun. It's one of my favorite crossovers in recent memory. Even though it's not really a crossover, it's all pretty much self-contained in Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Woman and, you know, the occasional tie-in book. But it's really good. I think we talked about it already, didn't we?
We've definitely talked about Spider-Man a couple of times.
Dan
in previous
Slott's Spider-Man, at
episodes.
least. Superior Spider-Man. But Spider-Verse is just really great. It's a lot of, like, commentary on why Spider-Man is awesome. And it's Spider-Man teaming up.
As if you needed to know.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man teaming up with all these different versions of himself. Which is really cool considering we just got, like, a fairly long period of time where we had a different version of Spider-Man. Which was the Superior Spider-Man.
Spock.
Spock, yes, as people like to call him. But he's in here too. It's really cool, and because, like I said, it draws on Spider-Man's past and all these different versions of him. But Dan Slott does the thing he does, where he takes a really bad Spider-Man concept. In this case, not really bad, but you know, kind of one that's like
Not
I'll just say
the top.
It's Moreland. Moreland and his family are killing Spider-Man throughout dimensions, which is really cool. You're seeing where Moreland comes from. He's like a weird steampunk vampire, whereas before he was just, you know, J. Michael Straczynski's, I've got a character that can beat all the other characters. He's super cool. You know, Dan Slott takes that concept and really runs with it.
Yeah, that's a little too... Like, the whole Moreland thing of Spider-Verse is a little too Anne Rice interview with the vampire for me. But what I really like about this are what you touched on earlier, all the different versions of Spider-Man. Like,
they're doing such a good job.
He's been around for 50 years, and I've been reading for a really long time, and I'm like, wow, I forgot all about this version of Spider-Man. Just... There's so many of them that he draws from the history.
It really makes it...
And it's fun. My favorite being the 60s cartoon Spider-Man.
Yeah, 60s cartoon Spider-Man shows up, and everything he does looks like really similar, because they would reuse animation all the time on those. Watch the cartoons, because they're just hilarious.
Any comic fan that does not own those...
Short list of all the characters of the Spider-Men who have showed up in here. Spidey 2099, obviously. Superior Spider-Man.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham is in there. Spider-Monkey from the terrible Marvel Ape series. Not a big character, but it's just really funny. Like seeing Spider-Man have to be like, oh my god, everyone's gonna die if I don't beat this mission. Spider-Monkey, come with me! Like, you know? It's really fun.
Spider-Man India.
Spider-Man India. There's, like, any sort of... They did this great little series building up to it where they had all these Spider-Men inspired by other things. There was like there was Spider-Gwen, which made waves, which was Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman, which is really cool. And it was cool. She had like a Scott Pilgrim feel to her. Her and Mary Jane are in a band. It was totally like an Image book. It was hilarious. They got like manga Spider-Man. The Spider-Man from the 70s Japanese TV series showed up, and that's kind of a spoiler, but it's really worth reading just because
it's Slott's love letter to Spider-Man, essentially. Just wrapped up in a giant adventure travel story.
Yeah, and it's great. It's just merchandising at its finest. It's telling a story with with all sorts of, with everyone's favorite little action figures. Like, I remember that Spider-Man. I remember that Spider-Man.
Max is way more enamored of this than I am. I'm enjoying it just for the history aspects I said, but you know, I'm just kind of waiting for Spidey to come back down to earth a little bit.
He will. I think he will. But
it's fun.
But before we leave, like let's not ignore the giant spider in the room, which is everyone's least favorite spoiler. USA Today spoiled the ending of issue 12, which was great. Avoid those newspaper spoilers like the plague, to be honest, because if I had read what I had, because I avoided that one, I told everyone, like, just right off the bat, don't tell me what happens in the Spider-Verse. I'm going to read it.
Found out before reading the book.
But I read it, and I was like, wow, this makes perfect sense. This isn't like a big deal. It's not like, finally, the return of so-and-so. It was just a story beat that made perfect sense with where the story was going.
Within
the context of the story, it was fine. I don't know why. I know why they have to go to these newspapers, because they want to sell more comics, which is fine. But if I'd heard that out, it would have ruined the storytelling experience. So remember, subscriptions, not spoilers. Check out subscriptions with Tresh and Renee right now.
Hi, I'm Tresha.
And I'm Renee.
And at Comicazi, supporting your local comic shop means discounts for you.
Did you know that by subscribing to just one title, you are granted a 10% discount on all new comics and graphic novels?
We only ask that you stop by once a month to pick up your discounted titles.
We also offer excellent mail order subscriptions that are delivered right to your front door with free shipping included.
So support your local comic shop in a meaningful way.
Become a Comicazi subscriber today.
Welcome back to the 100 greatest graphic novels in no particular order. What do we got over there?
For our independent selection, we've got The Stuff of Legend.
Cool.
Tresha at the shop is a big fan of this book. It's a little boy and his toys.
Oh,
and
cool.
They come to life. He gets kidnapped by like some evil force. He gets pulled into a fairy tale world, and his good toys they all amass together and enter into the world to rescue their boy.
That's fun.
It's fun, and the artwork is phenomenal.
Sort of like Toy Story meets Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Yeah. That's really cool. It kind of has a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen feel to it, where it's all these awesome archetypes that you've read about before, and teaming up. Great book. And then over here, for our Marvel book, we have The Immortal Iron Fist
by Brubaker and Fraction.
Matt Fraction
and Dave Aha, not the Norwegian band of the 80s.
Yeah. Awesome book. Really cool. If you like Iron Fist, definitely check it out. Or if you want to...
This is very pulpy.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this book. I mean, it just reinvented Iron Fist as... It's a mantle that's passed down.
Yeah.
But
so
the art and that noir pulp feel is what makes it for me.
Yeah, and just sort of the continuity involved for it. All these characters from Iron Fist past are in there. Luke Cage is in there, of course. The Daughters of the Dragon, who are two of my favorites.
They're great.
Jaren Hogarth is sort of like his Alfred, but not really. It's his lawyer.
Yeah.
Which is a really funny dynamic.
Right.
I wish this series lasted longer, to be honest. I think it went 25 issues and really brought Iron Fist back to the forefront of things. Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Moving on to our all ages title, Tommysauras Rex.
Little boy. Dinosaurs.
I know.
I mean, what more do you got to say?
The two go hand in hand.
They do.
Dinosaurs and childhood. Yes, tiny little hand in hand.
Sorry.
Definitely check that out, especially if you got a kid who likes dinosaurs, or if you really like dinosaurs.
Who doesn't? Who didn't do their third grade school project on dinosaurs?
I still love dinosaurs. I'll just anything with dinosaurs.
Really fun. And our DC book is Manhunter.
Same thing as Iron Fist, with this mantle sort of being passed down.
Manhunter is
is definitely more of an unofficial mantle, and it's a series that came back from cancellation twice. Actually, 3 times if you think about it.
Yeah, the only thing similar to that was Spider-Girl. Where the fans kept bringing the book back.
And it's about a district attorney who decides to take the...
Lawyers. So many lawyers.
Yeah, but she's really cool. She's very much like a realistic interpretation of a lawyer. She's a single mom. She's a smoker. Like, she has sort of these bad habits, like... and her origin is just great. It's such a fun, like romp through the DC universe.
I've not read it actually. I really would like to read.
You
this
would
book.
you would like it.
A lot of people at the shop like this book.
It's by Mark Andraco, and Jesus Says does most of the art for the series. But Manhunter's been a character throughout DC history
since the mid-'70s.
No, since the Golden Age. The first Manhunter.
Oh, I'm thinking the Walt Simonson Manhunter.
But it goes all the way back, even to the Golden Age. It's really cool, and they've just been.
You've got me on that. I didn't know that.
There have been so many weird interpretations of Manhunter. This one fits in perfectly, and she's awesome. If you're looking for a comic book with a really awesome female protagonist,
I am,
which people are clamoring for these days, look no further than Manhunter. Wow. Super, super cool book. So Videodrome is filmed at Comicazi in Somerville, Massachusetts, and we got awesome stuff. We got new toys, new comics, old comics, subscriptions, an awesome eBay store. Check us out. We are the best comic book store on the East Coast, bar none.